joining us for another episode of Let's Talk Tobago. I'm DAVIA Chambers. Today we are coming to you from the NESC campus in Goldsborough. It's produced scores of graduates who are now contributing to Tobago's economy. We'll give you a tour of the campus that's helped develop many of today's entrepreneurs and also share with you information on the programs being offered right here. Over the next half hour, we'll also give you the scoop on all the major stories happening in Tobago this past week. So stay with us for the details, starting with the headlines. The new Roxborough Administrative Complex is being hailed as a symbol of development in East Tobago. The Tobago Heritage Festival 2019 starts with a bang with the Mariah Old Time Wedding. Development in the East is being accelerated. This time, the sun is turned for a hospital in Roxborough, and later, a new Heritage Calypso Monarch is crowned. We have all these stories and more when Let's Talk Tobago returns.
So when you're here, fiddle and tumbling and talk, rush back a dance and fight made a walk, jumping old time carnival, pulsing by the sea. Come July, Tobago is the place to be.
Tobago Heritage Festival from mid-July to August 5th. Tobago, it's the place to be.
Come on here, folk tales, don't let it all. Come and spend July in Tobago.
NESC stands for National Energy Skills Center. It's a non-profit institution established to develop human capital in Trinidad and Tobago. As an independent training provider, the organization serves as a link between the state and industry. And speaking of state, residents of Tobago East will soon benefit from a variety of key services at the Roxborough Administrative Complex. The complex was officially commissioned and our cameras were there to bring you this story. Roxborough is known as the town of the East, and for good reason. And now the community's infrastructure has been strengthened. It's home to a new building where residents of East and Northern Tobago have easier access to several basic government services. The Roxborough Administrative Complex was constructed at a cost of $33 million and will house 11 tenants.
We have providing grant funding and loan funding, the Business Development Unit, registration and issuing of national ID cards, the Election and Boundaries Commission, registration of births and deaths from Mount St. George to Charlottesville, Registrar General Department, identifying programs and projects to be implemented in the eastern part of Tobago, that would be the Rural Development Unit.
The project was managed by UDICOT, which ensured 40% of the labor force came from surrounding communities. 75 Tobagonians worked on the project. 2 subcontractors were also employed. Rural development is high on the Tobago House of Assembly's agenda. Chief Secretary Kelvin Charles says his team is facilitating the continued development of eastern and northern areas of Tobago.
This complex has been particularly dear to my heart, simply because I understand how its operations would lift a heavy burden off the shoulders of you, the residents, and of course your neighbors, especially our senior citizens and the differently abled. It is becoming increasingly popular, and for obvious reasons. Why countries decentralize major services away from busy, over-congested, and sometimes very polluted cities to convenient, easily accessible locations.
Construction of the Roxborough Administrative Complex began in July 2017 and was completed in April. From its first campus at Point Fortin, the NESC now operates several campuses across Trinidad and Tobago. It offers 2-year diploma programs and short courses. And while we're on the subject of learning, several secondary students competed for the title of Junior Secretary for Tourism, Culture and Transportation. Julia James tells us who earned the title and what it means for her in the next 12 months. Here's more.
To deliver service excellence, Tobago's tourism sector, inclusive of its stakeholders, must know its clients in order to deliver what they desire. We cannot, ladies and gentlemen, be comfortable by offering silent service to Generation X, Y, and Z. This sector will best meet the needs of its generational clients by understanding their needs. Service excellence requires variety.
That's Kaylee Lewis from Scarborough Secondary School during her presentation of making excellence a habit in Caribbean tourism. Ms. Lewis is the winner of the 2nd Annual Tourism Youth Congress debate, and she's the new Junior Secretary for Tourism, Culture and Transportation. This means she will represent Tobago at the regional debate later this year. It's a challenge that Ms. Lewis is more than happy to accept.
I'm very excited and I'm ready and willing to represent Tobago. To prepare for this competition, it was a lot of hard work, a lot of research.
7 other students from Tobago's secondary schools competed for the title, and convincing the judges wasn't as easy as it sounds. They chose from tourism-related topics, and each student had 3 minutes to present their best tourism plan. Adriel Wheeler of Speyside High School shared his ideas for implementing smart travel experiences. He finished 2nd.
It will use facial recognition technology to compare your face to the photograph recorded on your passport or the chip in your passport.
1 more minute.
Once this check is made successfully, the gate opens automatically for you to walk through. Additionally, travelers will now be allowed to use the boarding passes on their phones and the tablet devices to gain access to their respective departure gates. And while we are at that, can we upgrade the TT passports from machine-readable to e-passports? Little Antigua is doing it. People, we are behind.
Young people have a key role to play in tourism. This competition is one platform they can use to share their visions for the industry.
It's good to see young people exposed to tourism at such a much younger age. I think it's important because I think they have a better appreciation of what tourism is, how can they make it work, and the fact that they feel a part of it. Because young people generally think that they don't have a part to play.
The Tourism Youth Congress is part of the Caribbean's Tourism Organization's annual tourism conference. Its main aim is to get young people more involved in the future direction of the region's tourism products. From the Division of Tourism, Culture and Transportation, I'm Juliet James reporting for Let's Talk Tobago.
NESC is both ISO certified and ACTT registered. Its mode of training delivery is designed to produce graduates who are skilled, confident, and are able to make an instant impact in the work environment. Now the Tobago Heritage Festival 2019 kicked off last weekend. It's one of the more popular festivals in this region, and in this story we take a look at one of the most treasured heritage events on the calendar, the old-time wedding in Moriah. Here's more.
The village of Moriah was the first stop for this year's 2019 Tobago Heritage Festival. It's the location of one of the most popular items on the Tobago's annual events calendar, the Moriah Old Time Wedding. Villagers and visitors come to witness the reenactment of wedding traditions that were typical on the island many years ago. The ceremony unfolds each year at the Moriah Moravian Church. The bridal party then danced through the streets of Moriah in colorful traditional wedding wear to the reception. Here, the famous brushback dance is accompanied by the sweet songs of tambourine music. Then it was time for the feast. This is usually where toasts are made by the best man, the father of the bride, the groom, and anyone else who wants to say a few words.
On behalf of my wife and I would like to welcome all you to our humble home. And my heart is overrun with joy. Today, my beautiful daughter, Justina, Romella, Sandra, Sharon, Elmina Guy got married to this handsomonious young man, Jeremiah.
Very, very nice to see how people celebrate in the past and in now, and without tourism, just do your thing, and that I like it very much.
People are very friendly here, and there's a lot of fun and happiness.
Really enjoyable. It's my first time here, and I'm really enjoying it.
First time at Heritage, I'm enjoying myself. It's wonderful.
The festival runs until August 1st, after various villages have had their opportunity to showcase the most noteworthy traditions. I'm Crystal George for Let's Talk Tobago.
The sod has been turned for a new hospital to be built in Roxborough as the community continues to develop its infrastructure. This story is up next, right after this break. Stay with us.
So when you're here, fiddle and tambourine and talk, rush back a dance and fight made a walk, jumping old time carnival, pulsing by the sea. Come July, Tobago is the place to be.
Tobago Heritage Festival from mid-July to August 1st. Tobago, it's the place to be.
Come on here, boat tails down and let it all. Come and spend July in Tobago.
The Tobago NESC campus offers 2-year diploma programs in automotive services, welding, electrical installation, and refrigeration and air condition. Diploma programs are approved for the GATE Tuition Assistance Program. Now we move further east for this story. Bloody Bay Road in Roxborough was the location for a momentous sod turning. The east of Tobago is set to welcome its first full-service hospital. Here's more in this story.
Residents of Roxborough and East Tobago will no longer be required to travel to Scarborough to access healthcare services when the community's hospital is completed next year. Prime Minister the Honourable Dr. Keith Rowley, Chief Secretary Kelvin Charles and other members of the Tobago House of Assembly gathered at the site in Bloody Bay to turn the sod, signalling the start of construction of the project, which requires an estimated expenditure of $60 million.
Talks of a new hospital in Roxborough have circulated through the air for some time. Now the moment is here to signal officially the physical start of the creation of this dream. In doing so, we are setting the scene for the beginning of another monumental chapter for the people of Roxborough and neighboring communities.
So when you look at the infrastructure for healthcare delivery, it is our view that when we would have completed this phase of our infrastructural development in healthcare, our nation for the first time would have covered the entire population with the healthcare infrastructure that is required to bring healthcare delivery to every single citizen of this country.
The new medical facility will comprise a helipad for emergency airlifts to Trinidad, an accident and emergency room, medical and surgical wards, a newborn nursery, an operating theatre, and an isolation unit. Residents will also be able to access services such as medical imaging, laboratory services, a pharmacy, dialysis, and physical and operational therapy. A new health centre will also be built alongside the hospital.
We are here to deliver. We are here to keep our promise for all of Tobago, in this case, all of East and Northeast Tobago. We promise to deliver to you a new primary care service at this site to replace the aging infrastructure at the old Roxborough Health Centre, in addition to a Roxborough hospital.
A hospital in East Tobago will increase the employment opportunities for the community and medical professionals on the island. Residents are excited to finally welcome such a facility to their community.
Oh, I'm very proud about it because it's something that's long in the waiting.
It is a welcome initiative, and I hope that and look forward with bated breath on its completion.
Project developer Udicott intends to take 40% of the labour force for the building of the hospital from the village of Roxborough. I'm Patricia Nicholson for Let's Talk Tobago.
Short courses are available at NESC in basic car care and heavy equipment operation. A professional enhancement course is also on offer in the fundamentals of hybrid technology in conjunction with the National Petroleum Company of Trinidad and Tobago. And staying with education, the Chief Secretary hosted the top 10 Tobago secondary entrance assessment exam students to breakfast. They were rewarded for their outstanding showing and encouraged to keep up the hard work at their new schools. It's all in this story. Take a look. The top 10 students of the Secondary Entrance Assessment or SEA exams on the island were treated to breakfast at the Magdalena Grand Beach and Golf Resort by the Chief Secretary and Secretary of the Division of Education, Innovation and Energy, Honorable Kelvin Charles, and staff of the division. They were encouraged to pursue their dreams even though challenges will come their way.
Dreams do come true. Things that you work for can come to pass. If you have a passion that is deep and that drives you, you can achieve. There's no limit to what you can do and to what you can become. Your only limit, yes it is, difficult times come. Yes it is, things may come to distract you. Things may not work out on the timeline that you initially wanted it to work out on. But you can achieve what you want to achieve.
And the advice given was well received.
A piece of advice from the motivational speaker stood out to me because she said that no matter what's going on around you, just focus on your goal.
And what are some of the students looking forward to most heading into secondary school?
Learning new subjects and looking forward to making new friends.
I look forward to making new friends most going into secondary school.
The students were also encouraged by the Chief Secretary to be wise when choosing their friends at secondary school.
As you travel the journey in respect of your secondary schooling, just remember, be careful.
The students received tokens from the division, whilst their schools received plaques. There is also a place here for music enthusiasts. You can learn sound recording and music production, learn to play an instrument, or produce your own music. We now visit the northeast village of Charlottesville as thousands of people from Trinidad and Tobago and beyond turned up to experience some of the island's natural treasures. It included thrilling tambu bamboo music and the popular cocoa dance where everyone participated. It's all in this next story.
Charlottesville came alive for the Tobago Heritage Festival 2019. Hundreds of people attended Natural Treasures Day in the picturesque seaside village and joined the village performers as they trekked downhill, reenacting several of the island's traditions along the way.
It's like for many people, business. Ruby. No says she's stupid. The woman only an honor, she I will.
Reliving the rituals of yesteryear is a great way to educate this generation about the island's cultural heritage. And that's exactly what Natural Treasures Day is all about. It also shows the resilience and determination of Tobagonians to bounce back. Every year, visitors look forward to the traditional cooking techniques and the dancing of the cocoa. They are the highlights of Natural Treasures Day. Even the island's top officials participate.
It's a tremendous event, a tremendous experience. I'm excited. I've started to dance actually. Can't you see?
The two-week Tobago Heritage Festival will run until August 1st. I'm Antoinette Mora for Let's Talk Tobago.
One youth organization is helping to spread awareness on the importance of being proactive where mental health is concerned. We bring this story right after these messages. Don't go anywhere. Let's Talk Tobago. We'll be right back.
So when you're here, fiddle and tambourine and talk, rush back and dance and fight, play that walk, jump in old time carnival, pulsing by the
Tobago Heritage Festival from mid-July to August 1st. Tobago, it's the place to be.
Come on here, go taste down and let it all. Come and spend July in Tobago.
Tobago has several fishing communities. That's one of the reasons NESC also offers a boat repair course right here in Tobago. And you may also want to note that the registration process for September 2019 has started. You can visit the campus here at Goldsborough for more information. We switch now to health, mental health. That is, as the conversation is changing from one of stigma to awareness and importance. One youth organization is joining the conversation to help young people better tackle this issue. Here's this story.
It's a topic many of us shy away from, but mental health is an issue we all need to stay informed about. The Junior Chamber International, JCI, is one of the organizations being proactive in addressing mental health, as well as the causes of mental illness through its latest forum. Mental health includes our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. It affects how we think, our feelings, and our actions. The discussion centered on several key areas including narcissism personality disorder, anxiety, and depression. Narcissists often have an unstable and intense emotions and a distorted self-image. They display an unusual love of self, an excessive sense of importance, and a preoccupation with success and power. Sometimes, this indicates a lack of self-confidence.
In our society right now, we see that the individual is praised and highlighted and given preference over the group or the individual or the community. So people have a sense of celebrity personality where they think that they need to always show forth their ego and put it at their forefront. So in a sense, our modern society kind of uplifts the narcissist. So there's a lot of things culturally we have to begin to address.
Meanwhile, anxiety creates a feeling that you have to figure out everything at once.
No two people are the same. So you have to learn to first of all love yourself. Appreciate you, appreciate your values. Sit down, identify your strengths. Identify your opportunities of improvement and grow from there. You don't need someone to come and tell you when you're short of whatever. Sit down every day. Review your actions. Review your achievements. Pat yourself on the back. That's okay. Pat yourself on the back at the end of the day. What have I done today that I could have done better or I can do better tomorrow? Don't hold what you did yesterday.
Obsessive-compulsive behavior, or OCD, can affect your daily functioning and social interactions. It manifests in repetitive behaviors such as hand-washing, checking on things that appear to pose a danger, or cleaning. And depression. This is something that feeds on loneliness.
You go in search of treatment. Find out what the stresses are, what is bringing on the depression, whether it be relationship, or religion, or your own expectations, unrealistic. Okay, there must be something there. Okay, folk do not get up in the morning and just feel depressed like that. They can go to bed with the depression. So we're gonna have to identify what is the cause.
Mental health is everyone's problem, and discussions like these can help us to be aware and more prepared. I'm Crystal George for Let's Talk Tobago.
Registering at NESC is pretty easy. Forms can be accessed online or right here at the campus. Prospective students must be 16 years or older, have completed secondary school, and possess 3 or more CXC passes or a combination of skills and work experience. In our last story, a new winner was crowned at the Heritage Calypso Monarch, and we have all the highlights. Have a look.
The Tobago Heritage Fever rolled into Scarborough on July 19th, with the highlight being the Heritage Calypso Monarch. The battle for the title drew patrons from far and wide, with contestants each performing 2 songs, one heritage-based and the other a vintage calypso.
Sweat is rice, I hear she tells she friend. Sweat is rice, his womanizing days will end. sweats his rice and have him stupidly. Sweats his rice, he go bring his whole salary.
That's the Heritage Calypso Monarch of 2019, Caston Cupid, performing his rendition, Portion, Deception, and Lucky TOBAGO'S. He edged out last year's winner Gilbert O'Connor, scoring 523 points, giving him his 5th Tobago Heritage Calypso Monarch title. And for his heritage piece, he did Zandali's Stickman. Taking the 2nd position and scoring 505 points was Gilbert O'Connor with a contemporary calypso entitled Imagine That.
Main Street, right by way, Fort and Chapel Hill meet. Smell something sweet and very tempting to eat. Like bread and fig leaf that baking dirt overheat. Waiting for butter to spread and to sink with teeth. Traffic start to flow, pour me and no. Behind me kiss delivery horn blow. Like kiss cake people come out to take Edgar bread out the Howie mouth. Imagine that. I am privileged, yeah.
And Renee Alfred got the nod from the judges for 3rd place with 477 points. She sang Dare Sat and the vintage piece Fire Fire in Me Wire from Calypso Rose. Callan Alexander aka Jamor came in 4th, having entered the competition for the first time. I'm Crystal George for Let's Talk Tobago.
And it's now time to have Your Say, the segment of our program where we hear from you, the viewers. We'll now have a look at who had their say this week with Marlon GOLDSBOROUGH.
No one to ask question. What do you question?
It was A. He's only spelling things.
That's a quick question. Nothing.
That's not, hold on.
I'm waiting for the money for the question now.
It's that time again. It's Have Your Say time again. Now, there's quite a lot of fairly new programs on the Heritage calendar. And the question we're asking today is, what are your thoughts on these new initiatives in the Tobago Heritage Festival? This is what you said.
Whatever is done to improve the festival, I think it's just marvelous.
I love it. And the only thing that will come out of this is great history. It's time that we embrace our history, and it's time that we know about our history.
Well, I think it's very, very nice. You should have had this quite a long time. It's educational. You're getting the jokes. You're getting to know all about the people of long ago.
I must say that it is very educational. It actually brought me back to a place of nostalgia.
It's one of the best things to do to have these kind of activities so that the people in the community could come out and participate in it.
There are some finer details of our history that we have missed, which we are now being made aware of.
Very good, very informative. And I hope that a lot of the young people will get to understand what the old times were like.
You could never get this experience except if the older persons come and share these things.
I enjoy the Heritage Festival. For me, it's never old. Every year, no matter, I am 69 and proud to say, and every year I go, I learn something new. So I think it's just wonderful. We just have to encourage the people to keep on keeping on.
It was A. He's only spelling things.
That's a quick question. Nothing.
That's not, hold on.
I'm waiting for the money for the question now.
We've come to the end of yet another edition of Let's Talk Tobago, and as always, we thank you for watching. Please email us with your comments or queries about the program, and be sure to visit our website, like our Office of the Chief Secretary Facebook page, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Now, for more information about the programs offered at the National Energy Skills Center campus, you can visit their website at www.nesc.edu.tt, or you can call them at 660-5700. From our house to yours, I'm Davia Chambers, along with the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly, wishing you a safe and productive week. We leave you with a montage of a variety of Heritage Festival productions. Do enjoy.